welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen,
my black wife, and we are live on a Tuesday.
What's happening?
Ready to do some podcast. Karen, the race war is afoot.
Apparently so.
Okay, the race 4.0 is happening. People need to know what side I'm on. Firmly.
What side is you on?
I'm with the blacks.
You on the side of the blacks?
Okay, I'm with the blacks in this one. The official weapon of the show is
the taser.
No,
the folding chair.
The folding chair, because that's what us blacks use to put the white man back in his place.
I'm sorry, reset it to 0 again. Damn, I didn't last week, did I?
It's okay. I forgive you, my black queen.
Thank you.
And the unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
Bullet ball extreme. Did you have any banter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, this might be a kind of a talky episode because it's a lot to talk about. We'll go with the banter. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter. I do. All right, Karen, you go first.
Okay, and you might have known this, but I didn't. I kind of felt a little stupid, but I just realized this. You know, our can opener got a can opener on it.
Our can opener has a can opener on it.
It has like a jar opener on it. Mm-hmm. Our can opener has a jar opener.
Oh,
on
a jar opener.
Yes.
You said can opener has a can opener,
meant
which
jar.
obviously it has a can opener on it.
You don't know.
You mean
shit.
something for like when the lid is on tight on a jar, you can use the can opener. I did not know it had that on there.
Okay.
I've been using that other thing you got, the green thing.
Okay. I felt stupid as shit. Cause I was in there and I was looking at the can opener and it has like this little rubber piece on it. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, I wonder if this comes off. And I picked it up and I looked at it. And sure enough, it's bold as day. It's in tiny ass print. It was like jar opener. I was like, bitch, I want you to promote it that a little bit better.
I'm sure it was on the box, but so that's why you read the instructions.
Yeah, that's why you read the instructions, son. Yeah, that's my bad. You know, I know a lot of people say that's what you get. You should have read the book. I just didn't. I just assumed that I knew how to work the damn can opener, and it was just a can opener.
This is a shameful thing to admit, but it shouldn't be a shameful thing. But I have to admit it because it's funny, and I'm authentic on the show, and I'll do anything, for the funny. But I had to break down today and contact porn customer service.
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, shit.
I know. Now, some of y'all gonna be like, wow, you paid for porn. But honestly, dog, like, that's the least of my concerns. I think sex work is work.
It is.
And some stuff they put behind a paywall. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's hard to get to it. So if you really want, unless you just really gonna be on the dark web, on the Russian websites with your information out there, sometimes you have to break down to pay. And so I had to break down to pay because it's like what I was watching, I really couldn't find anywhere else. Okay. It was, it was like anyway, it doesn't matter what it was. It was legal. And it was
everybody was over age, and that's the thing when you
wait, no, it's the race war. I can tell y'all it was African porn. I did not even know this existed. I don't know why I didn't know African porn existed, but
yes, it
does. They over there doing it. They in the motherland. Okay? The women look like I like them, you know what I'm saying? Like a bowl of grits, thick, dark, chocolate. I don't know how to make grits, guys. It's not the right recipe, but I know
that is not how you make grits.
Anyway, man, I had to something happened where like it was messing up with my access, and I was like, "Oh, sure, it'll work out." And then it went like another like however long, and I was like, "It's not working out, huh?" Well, I'll just sleep on it, and then didn't work out. And finally, I had to go to the fucking customer service connection and be like, "Hey,
What's happening?
I paid for this porn. What's going on?
Yes. That's what you paid for this, like anything else. You paid for the service.
But still, I had to be like,
hey, I want my porn. I paid for it.
Hey.
What's happening?
Can't watch these Africans have sex. What's going on?
Right?
My access fucked up or something? Like what,
they provide the service, and I would like to see the service.
I didn't do nothing wrong using my account the way it say it's supposed to be used. Y'all said I could do this. And so I had to contact them. And then they emailed me back. It was like, can you send us a screen capture or recording of your screen to show us exactly what's going wrong, because we can't understand like what the functionality of the problem is. Basically, every time I went to play a video, it would be like, you need to pay for this again. And I was like, I already got access to what's happening. So to have unlimited access. Okay, you're not supposed to be tallying my jacks. Just fucking just let it play
like it's supposed to.
We'll just call it a fair exchange. It felt like going into the porn store or something and being like I need to talk to a manager. Like, I don't want to. No, the transaction is I park my car with the license plate turned towards the wall so nobody can see. And then I sneak in under the cover of darkness, wearing 3 hoodies and a trench coat.
And you go around on the backside. And you don't do the part where you're facing the street.
With the proper amount of shame that
you're supposed to
have. That a contributing individual to society is supposed to move with.
Right.
You walk in, hey, no, okay, but no, I had to record my screen, and then I had to play respectability, because I had to find porn that was mainstream acceptable, because I didn't want to be like, listen, I'm just watching these African people fucking this village and it's getting freaky. Okay. Who knows what they gonna do next? Instead I had to be like, white man, white woman sex, regular vanilla missionary.
Not regular vanilla.
Okay, we don't need
nothing spectacular. No spice on this sex.
Married Jesus Christ worshiping couple. Okay.
Gentle sex.
Right. Captured it as they finished praying. I had to
they prayed before and after.
I had to send a screen recording, the shit don't work. So now I gotta wait for them to get back to me. I'm like, damn, I don't even know what to do with this. Now I'm on pins and needles. What if they come back we still can't figure it out? And you a freaky ass nigga. We was looking at your account.
Right? We done looked through your log.
What is going on with you in Ghana? I don't know, man. It's a lot going on over there. It's a stressful time in America. Maybe I want to get away from our problems,
right,
and get into some African problems. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to the motherland. I need to find destinations to leave the country. Okay,
right.
Trump is wilding over here.
Yes, he is.
And they kicking white people out of South Africa. So everybody I like is staying.
They kicking the white people out. I'm like, get out of here, beat it.
But yeah, so I'll keep you guys. I probably won't keep you guys updated. Honestly, this is the last time I'm talking about this. Karen?
I don't have anything else. That's the only thing I had.
All right, I had 2 more. I ran into the mother of one of our fans.
Okay.
Today.
Wow.
I was out shopping, looking for some electric salt and pepper grinders, because mine, the thing you twisted the bottom of the pepper thing, the plastic piece broke off, and I'm like, fuck, I can't make it less or more without almost cutting my fingers and shit. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy another one.
Yeah, we've had those for years.
I'm like, we got the new car. I'm like, let me get, this is an excuse. I got it. My knee is kind of sore the last week or so I haven't been doing my walks as much. I got to do elliptical or the bike or what. Anyway, that's a different story. But the point being, I was like, all right, let me get out the house and go to Walmart. And I just want to say, thank God I went to Walmart, because I almost broke down and went to Target.
All right.
Because,
yeah, it's smoke. Yeah.
If somebody would have it.
Target, and they would have multiple selections of it too. You would not have to worry about it, right?
If somebody would have it, it would be Target in my section of town. But I didn't. I stayed strong, blacks, because I'm on the side of blacks. I'm with the blacks this week. And I went to Walmart, and when I seen Two Fish's mama in there, she stopped me and said, "Are you Rod?"
Oh.
And I was like, yes. And she was like, oh, I'm telling his mama, I was like, oh my God, yes. Oh yeah, I love her, blah, blah, blah. And, it was just in passing, real quick thing. But you know what? If that would have happened in Target, I would have lost all my credibility. Thank God I didn't go to Target. I can't get recognized in Target. Like, what happens?
Like, is that Rod?
If two black people see each other in Target at this point, is it kind of like when I was in college and we had the porn store? I'm sorry, this keeps going back to porn, guys. But we had the pornography store. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm old school. I paid for it back then. Mm-hmm. You could rent videos.
Yes, you could.
But one time I went in there, and I went to HBCU, y'all. We both did. So one time I went in there, and I worked in the financial aid office for a little bit as an intern as part of my scholarship duties for like a year. And so we had a white dude that was like vice president of assistant dean of admissions or some shit, right? Man, I go in there. I'm looking at videos. I look up. This white man's in there looking at videos. I'm like, huh. Well, we have that in common. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, maybe you're in the black cheerleader section as well. I see. Okay, respect. But also, I can't acknowledge this man. I have to work at the thing.
Right.
So we just both, I think, mutually decided to hyper focus 6 inches on what was in front of us and no peripheral vision, no eye contact, and wait till the other one left. And then we've never spoke about it ever. And I feel like that's what happened if I see another black person in Target that I know. I have to be like, we're not talking about this. This didn't happen. Mm-mm. We both weren't in here.
This was never on the record.
Okay. If anybody asks when you got them electric salt and pepper shakers, you found them on the street.
On the corner, you got them on Temu.
You picked up and you got the fuck out of there. Okay. Well, he was like 6 inches, Jackie. I was 12. I was like a full foot away.
Oh, Lord.
That I was looking. He was probably more nearsighted than me, than white eyes. But yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, glad I went to, thank God I went to Walmart because that could have been ugly. I could have been. She could have took a picture of me
and posted it online.
I could be on Facebook, Instagram right now. This Rod be on the Karen Hunter show, but he lying. He right. Really be in Target.
He crossed the line. Karen, you see this?
Right. They be snitching on me already on Twitter to her. He said the N-word on his show. Yeah, nigga, she know. I just don't say it over there. No,
we respect her.
I respect her house, but come on, I gotta be me.
Yes. Oh, and I was just not thinking about something that kind of happened to us today. Me and Roger, well, it's basically probably me. We have some of the most friendliest faces ever because when we just sit and just quietly mind it, because we were both reading comic books for breakfast this morning, and the lady, after the meal was served, she went through her whole story and all that stuff. I was like, we must have them faces where people just feel comfortable just talking and just sharing everything.
Because you do all that sweetie baby stuff, and then they think that they friends and shit. So she was just responding to that energy.
And I like that positive energy.
The final thing, and this is probably the longest thing, the race war has started up again, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back, y'all. I want to say, man, this is one of the reasons I like keeping it real on the show. Even at times when you would think keeping it real was like not the thing to do, but I always keep it real because a lot of times whenever the long arc of justice bends my way, I could be like, I told y'all niggas.
Right.
And I definitely 100% from day motherfucking one
could have predicted this.
Told y'all niggas that this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark shit was a race war.
Rob is right. Yep, Rob is right. Rob is right. Rob is right. Yep, Rob is right. Yeah, Rob is right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rob was right. Rob was right.
Yeah, well, that's what it's always been from the beginning. And people were in denial about it and things like that, and try to talk their way around it, but I could see even they was in college, lines were drawn, people were picking according to race. And I was like, oh, this could get really ugly if people don't let it go. And they didn't. And I don't know if they ever will.
I just like basketball.
Right.
And I think I'm a little bit more forward thinking than most people on this shit, in that while I like to interrogate and think about race, I would not say I use it as my I don't like to slide certain things into the entertainment section, because some shit I think should be more serious. You know what I'm saying? It's okay that race can be entertainment. I think racism is funny because it doesn't make sense. I'm not against that. I love comedy about race and all this, but there's a time where like certain shit people try to turn into proxy wars for race, and when it doesn't align, they don't know how to handle that. It's not a straight up square alignment.
And they try to make everything into that. And, that's why sometimes it's very frustrating when certain things come up and you got to be like, hey, I understand, but everything ain't about this. Sometimes it's individuals making decisions.
The issue for me is like, I'm not prone to conspiracy, because I think one of the biggest disservices and the biggest things we're fighting against right now is people that aren't looking things squarely in the face and being honest about shit. And if you lie to yourself, then you can easily be used if you lie to yourself. But if you lie to yourself, you're running from something because you don't want to be honest.
Right.
And so I just don't like participating in that stuff, because I've seen how ugly it gets and how unfair it can get. And honestly, it makes me think less of people, because it makes me realize either A, you're stupid, or B, racism is entertainment to you, and fighting with people online is your entertainment.
Agreed.
And that's a weird thing to be entertained about, because in some days you think it would be taken seriously. And there's plenty of other proxy examples where, it's just the way I'm looking at social media at this point, where I'm like, I don't even think anything positive is happening in this space right now about racism. There was that woman that called a 5-year-old black boy the N-word, and then raised $800,000.
Okay, yeah, we covered that story. Yeah.
Or not even GoFundMe, Give, Send, Go. But there's nothing positive that came of that story.
Nope.
Nothing. Even if you could find a way to shut her money down, which it didn't seem like anybody was able to. A kid got called the N-word by a racist person that then played victim and made a bunch of money off of it. Arguing with white people online about it changes nothing. And a lot of them like the arguing. They get off on, like, look at these black people engaging with me. There was another one where like a black kid was defending himself, supposedly. A white kid tried to kick him out of a 10 or something at a track meet, and he stabbed the kid to death. And then the black kid is claiming self-defense, saying they like jumped him or something, and he had to defend himself. And once again, race war. You know what I mean? Race war.
Like deeper things. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying, like, it did. What I'm seeing is like the content makers who make money grifting about race, they hopped on it. You see what I'm saying?
Probably
so Jordan Peterson jumped on it. Jason Whitlock jumped on it. Which is a red flag to me. Candace Owens jumped on. When these people start jumping on this shit, it's like, there's nothing we can really do about it from our distance away from it. Like, maybe you can give some money to either one of those families, but that's not gonna save their loved one. It's not gonna change the verdict of a trial. Like, it's just a thing that we're lining up to say, like, I'm on this side, you're on that side. And I'm not talking about both sides being equal or any of that shit. I think, there's a right and wrong to these situations, but it's just the social media of it is a weird type of escapism and entertainment and fodder. Maybe because people feel powerless about the election. I don't know, but it's like it's a proxy for something else.
And I 100% agree. And also, and a lot of people, they don't really critically think when they're on social media and using social media. Because some people, like you say, and it is a form of entertainment for everybody, please don't get me wrong, but some people, they just turn that side of themselves off. And people need to analyze, if I'm making an argument and I see certain people saying my same thing, it's like, oh, I might be on the wrong side of this.
Well, it's not about being on the wrong side. It's just, what is the reward? What is the goal for the energy you're expending?
Agreed.
Because I think we're just all very mad and hurt about things that are happening in life that we can't control. And so we pour ourselves into the race war of the week. But Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, race war from the beginning. And I could tell it was going to be like fucked up because like, first person I saw, the going after Angel Reese was JL Covan, and he's never on the right side. When it comes to blacks versus whites, okay, that man is my weather vane. Okay, I look which way he's pointing, I go the other way. I'm like, there's no way. Oh, Black Panther not that good. Yep, I'm out. I know that shit's gonna make $1 billion. Oh man, I didn't really. This Angel Reese, she's very mean. Oh, the poor Caitlin Clark. Oh no, not Missy Ann. Like, oh, here we go with the bullshit. So, anyway, I watched it from the beginning, and because I like basketball more than I like fighting about race online, I don't talk to many people about. I watched it in WNBA a lot. I just don't talk to people about it.
Right.
I got the league pass.
We've had like the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, NBA playoffs winding down. We getting 2-3 days between games. I'm on the league pass. I'm over here watching the ladies hoop. You know what I'm saying? And it's been fun. It's been a resurgence for me. I've gotten back into it. Like it was something that we grew up with here with the Charlotte Sting. We lost our team, so now
I think that kind of got me out of it because I used to follow it really heavily then.
Yeah, but now I'm like checking it out. And it's been fun. This new crop of women is great. The league has been growing. The women are because of social media, the women have been able to grow in ways the league can't make them grow. Like the league can't be out here talking about look at these sexy ass women. That's crazy. Not that they aren't sexy, but it's just it's crazy for a league to take you and be like, so put this low cut dress on or whatever. Not to mention all the different sexual orientation, representation, all this stuff, the way people feel. But Instagram, if somebody want to sign with
a makeup deal,
if somebody want to sign with Skims, if somebody wants to do something with Fenty on their own, and that helps the Q rating for that player, and it once again brings people to the product of the league, that's what's been happening for years. People are becoming personalities now. There's more media. So anyway, my main thing being Angel Reese, I'll say this again because I always have to say this part. Angel Reese is a star bigger than WNBA, bigger than basketball.
Yep.
In a way that most sports analysts can't really relate to, because most sports analysts are coming at this from a purely sports place. And I get why they're coming at it from a purely sports place, because they think that's what's pure, and they think that way they can kind of contribute to the conversation. What they refuse to acknowledge is they don't really know shit when it comes, and it's okay, like none of us really know what is going to happen to what athletes and what players, but they keep acting like Angel Reese's play needs to be as good as Caitlin Clark's play for this to be a rivalry that resonates with people, and it just doesn't. They keep comparing it to Magic and Bird, and they're like, she ain't Magic, and Caitlin Clark is going to be Michael Jordan of the WNBA. So why do we keep talking about this? Because she's a star. It's kind of like, and this is not an apt comparison, but, to put it in like men's sports or whatever, it's kind of like how Karl Anthony Towns, I'm sorry, Rudy Gobert and Luka have a thing where they don't like each other, and Luka's a fucking superstar, but Rudy Gobert's made the All-Star game many times. He's got Defensive Player of the Year awards and shit like that, but none of us think they're the same level of player. But guess who got the last laugh this year? Rudy Gobert put Luka ass out the playoffs. They was doing that ISO shit, and Rudy was staying with his ass, and Luka had a terrible shooting series. And it is what it is. You can blame it on whatever you want to. End of the day, he went home. And it wasn't like last time. And so my point being, the story don't care who is gonna have the best stats. That's the thing. You talk about Hall of Fame or All-Star selections or whatever. Two people not liking each other doesn't require they be equal standing.
No.
That's a sports only rivalry thing. Not liking each other is a story to people. Period.
Whether you want it to be or not, yes.
There's teammates that don't like each other and we can't stop talking about it. They on the same fucking team and we're like, that nigga don't like him. So they keep trying to take away that part of the story. So I have to address that part first. The dislike, the animosity, the intensity, that is to me what is driving this. And then the rest is everybody working backwards to like, and that means they're equal players. That means why are we not talking about Angel Reese as much as we talking about Caitlin Clark? You know why? What, like, in addition to her being white, she also has this aesthetic game that just is like watching Steph Curry or somebody. Basketball is basketball. If it was reversed and Angel Reese had the Steph Curry game and Caitlin Clark was just a double machine, none of us would be out here talking about, why we not talking about Caitlin Clark? We'd be like, man, fuck her. Angel Reese is the story,
Right.
It is what it is. But that ain't the fun part. The fun part is, I thought, this is me being naive, I said, well, you had the college race war, then you had the WNBA first season rookie year race war. We've all gotten used to it. It's now like Paige Beckers has come in. We got
a whole new crop. Yeah,
everyone's traded. They're on different teams and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much over. That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. I was being naive. I was being hopeful, optimistic. Even I said, finally, we can get to the basketball.
People love race.
First game on the schedule, and this is my big clue, was for Indiana and Chicago. Their first game was against each other on Saturday in prime time. And I said, oh, wait a minute.
Somebody knew what they were doing. They were scheduling that. I said,
first of all, I know we think she's a trash ass commissioner, and I wouldn't disagree with y'all. But Kathy Engelbert and the schedule makers, they did that.
Yes, they did. That was very smart.
Like, I don't think that lady is good at her job. Mm-mm. But man, they do know that they have struck the zeitgeist gold with Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what they would do if obviously Caitlin's not getting traded, but let's say Angel Reese somehow got traded in the middle of the season. I feel like they would change the goddamn TV schedule. They'd be like, she went to the Washington Mystics. We are swapping all the primetime games to Washington Mystics versus Indiana. Like, it's that fucking, not that, I don't think Chicago would trade Angel either because her Q rating is ridiculous.
Right.
But, so they playing. I'm watching the game. I think I went to the gym and came back to watch the game. And, or maybe I was leaving anyway. So I'm watching the game. I'm at the gym. I was mad too because they ain't had the shit on TV, which I don't know why I expected the YMCA to have the WNBA on. It was golf in Charlotte at the fucking thing up the street.
Yeah, the PGA.
I even could see the Goodyear balloon when I was pulling in.
I forget about that shit too, but yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, so we just watching golf? And I was like, of course. Like, it's up the street.
It's up the street at Quail Hollow.
Yeah, we love golf today. I'm like, fuck. So I pull my phone out, I'm doing sets, stopping to watch the game, listen to it on my headphones. And there's a play where Angel Reese goes up for a rebound by pushing one of the Indiana Fever in the back and out of the way so she can get the rebound. It's the WNBA. They don't normally, they don't call a lot of shit. It was probably an offensive foul, but fuck it, they ain't call it.
Right, they ain't call it.
And Caitlin Clark takes justice into her own hands, as one does, sees her teammate get pushed, and she hard fouls Angel Reese. I would not describe it as any more of a flagrant or tech deserving foul than when Angel Reese elbowed Caitlin in the head trying to get a block. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, I don't know if you remember that play last year when I was like, Angel Reese was trying to block that shit. Also, if you listen to this show and you listen to our sports show, I have never caped for Caitlin Clark getting any special treatment. That's part of the game. You had a ball a lot. You gonna get flagrantly fouled. They gonna test your mettle. Mm-hmm. Your teammates and you gotta take up for yourselves. And it just is what it is. No one is special in the WNBA.
Yeah, that's when you go, it's about sports. And and also it's one of those things, and I said this when they was doing all that shit. Caitlyn was like, I'm not doing shit. I'm going lifting weights, getting strong.
Oh no, you talking about the summer when you're talking about when they had an off season.
Yes.
Thank you. You just had to clarify for the audience.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they had doing their off season. Caitlyn Clark didn't participate in all the activities.
She didn't do the big three and all that stuff. She just lifted weights and stayed in the gym. And she hadn't had a break since she was in college.
Right.
So this was her first time able to do that.
Right. And also, I think with her doing that, she also, not trying funny, telling everybody, y'all ain't going to fucking butt me around this year like you did last year.
Every rookie, it's going to happen to Paige Beckers.
Mm-hmm.
Paige was getting, they have an Asia Wilson picture of Paige trying to defend Asia in the post. And it looked like when your daddy take you in the driveway, like it play hoops in the driveway, like backing your little ass down. Like, yeah, I'm a grown ass man. But people won't pick on Paige because we love Paige. So you're not going to see and it's not a race war against Paige. It's, so you won't see that. But anyway, Caitlyn hard fouls her. And I don't have a problem with them calling it flagrant. I think the reason they call it flagrant is because sometimes as a ref, you have to make a judgment call. Angel Reese was visibly upset, gets up, is like, what the fuck is wrong with you or something like that. I forget what all she said. But it was essentially like let's call the tech so we can or the flagrant so we can calm this shit down.
Right, because you want to take control of the game.
And the Fever have gotten so much better that this was, and I don't know what the fuck the Sky, this is a whole nother conversation. I don't know what the fuck the Sky was doing in this offseason. That's not a better team than it was last year. I understand Kennedy Carter is intense. Let's use that word. I understand she's intense all the way to the point where I don't even think she's in the league right now. But nigga, what the fuck? These were the moves. I know y'all fired y'all coach, but I mean, Indiana moves. I'm like, oh, they got some players now. I looked up and said, damn, okay, I know Sydney Colson. I'm looking on Chicago, so the shooting is not gonna happen. Y'all just was cool with the shooting from last year. Y'all just gonna do that again. Anyway, they got their ass whooped.
Yes, they did.
But everybody only wants to talk about that foul, Angel Reese's reaction, and that's where you get the race war, Karen. That's where the race war popped up. That's the real interesting part. And I won't get into everybody in the race war, but I do have some MVPs of the race war to shout out.
Oh shit.
Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, card carrying Trump voter. Dude who's been involved in many a racial kerfuffle on social medias and on his podcast network. Man who's been accused of sexual assault and abuse. This motherfucker's at the game in a goddamn Indiana Fever jersey. And I don't know why this is more disturbing to me, but I haven't heard anyone mention this part. I'm gonna pull up a picture so y'all can see it. But it's not just that he was at the game. Nigga was at the game in the jersey with the shorts, and the jersey was tucked into the shorts.
Oh, he was in a uniform?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the picture.
That's a psychopath. No one does this.
He had him tucked in like the old school Utah Jazz.
How is no one talking about this?
Oh, he looks crazy.
I'm the only person in the world that was like, this dude look weird. This not, who wears a fit like this out the house? You don't even wear this fit to play pickup basketball. You untuck the jersey
so you can move around.
When you wear this fit, when you play intramural basketball or in a work league and they make you tuck your jersey in.
Yeah, the work league.
Because they be like, tuck your jersey in because for some reason the $60 you paid for the fucking whatever season that they need you to tuck the jersey in. The stats don't count. Who gives a fuck about it? Anyway, point being, this man, whatever they say he did it. And I can tell from this fit. But he's a race warrior. He don't really care about the WNBA.
No, he don't respect them women.
Yeah, he shows up to the race war. And
that's why he came.
Yeah, and the fact that he was, they can't control that he's at a game, obviously. But the fact that he's there for people that are hyper online is a signal to many people race war 4.0. We starting again. here we go, running it back. So he was there, and that was a signal. Of course, after this foul, that's when it gets super interesting because RG3 decides to chime in. Now, you guys may know RG3 from, such hits as
he got a lot of hits.
My wife has a ass for a white girl. That thing he posted that weird time.
And then do the milk and cookies.
He does. Karen, this man is a milk magnate. Okay, he is a milk mercenary. He is Mr. Milk. Okay, he loves to talk about his wife being white. I don't know why.
Right.
It's a big part of his life.
It's okay, baby. Love your white wife. Ain't nobody mad at you.
It's like, I'll show y'all the receipts in a second, but it's really, I've put him on my coon list twice now for the coon countdown, the coon down. I put him on that twice, and it's strictly about this shit. I don't know what his issue is. Like, I know he lost his job at ESPN. I know he's been a closet conservative, and he's now trying to come out of that closet. Because once you lose your job, hey, that is a fresh source of money. Mm-hmm. It's hard to fuck up that money. Being a black guy that says, hey, man, Kamala Harris, I don't like her. Trump is cool with me. Hey, come on my show and talk about being conservative, talk about woke people. Hey, come on my show. Let's shit on black women. Like, that's what his show is. Him and his white wife sitting there co-signing or being silent. And, it's a lot of that type of shit. And then he posts these pictures all the time with his wife. And if it ain't snowing, we ain't going. Or just flagrantly, like, to the point where I know it's not his intention, but I truly do question what kind of woman his wife is.
Right.
Not because, she must. It's just because I think it's weird to reduce your wife to a racial fetish. That's a weird thing to signal to the world. I'm with my wife, not because she's a wonderful woman, but the main thing I want you guys to know is she is white, just like my first wife.
We can see that.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we get that she's white, but why is this such a big deal?
Child, love your milk and magnesium and go on. Ain't nobody worried about you.
So, after the game, RG3 basically tweets out this thing, or during the game, actually. He did two things. First of all, he put out a video of him doing like gesticulating and doing these like I'm Angel Reese thing, and his wife was laughing in the background. So he already had that going for him. I think the video is called "The Truth About Angel Reese's Rivalry with Caitlin Clark." And so he tweeted, after watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate.
So you're speaking on her behalf now?
Right. But most importantly, he's throwing this rock in the race war pool.
Yes, he
is. As if the context doesn't matter. As if we haven't watched Angel Reese be racially harassed by people like JL Covan and Keith Olbermann and whatnot for 2 years now. For a couple years now.
A couple of years.
Like, we haven't watched that happen. We haven't watched this woman break down and cry. And I do understand, because like I said, I don't come at it from a strictly gender point. I look at it like these are ball players and athletes, and I think Angel Reese is a tough person on the court. I think she mentally tough to be able to do what she does and get what she's gotten.
Yep,
so
got
I'm not
own switch.
And I'm not saying that it's this thing where like she has to. For me, she doesn't need to not hate Caitlin Clark to be a good person or whatever. Like, it's sports. I don't really give a fuck if they like each other or hate each other. It really don't matter. I don't know. Right. I can project onto them, but I truly do not know. And they could both be annoyed. They could just both be hyper competitive. I don't know. It doesn't really fucking matter. But when you watch all this hate that she gets online, and most of this conversation is happening online, the things you do that egg on and allow that hate are seen in a different light, because you're not just saying this in a vacuum. You are saying it in a place where Dave Portnoy is in attendance. You are saying this in a place where some people have shown up to basketball games with with fake nails and lashes on to pick on players. I
remember that. Mm-hmm.
Like, you're saying this in a place where Outkick Sports is going to agree with you. And Robert Griffin III does that shit on purpose.
Yeah, he does.
I don't expect him to come out and be like, I need racist fans. I just expect him to keep doing what he's doing and go, I guess racist people like me. I don't know. That has nothing to do with my opinions. I'll take the check. I'll take the attention. I'll take them coming on my podcast.
Right.
So he tweets that out. And like I said, post this YouTube video that's like 22 minutes long of like him, his wife in the background.
22 minutes, child.
Right. I'll show you a little bit of it, just so you see his wife on the couch in the background.
Child, we ain't got time for these trailers.
Right. Why she don't got a microphone of her own, I don't know. Like, feels weird. It's co-hosted by my wife on the couch, who's gonna sit back and let me talk shit about this black woman in the green.
Hear it.
Okay, well, y'all just need to see it. Y'all didn't need to hear it. He said he was your boy though, and I disagree. He's not my boy.
He is not my boy.
This is not my boy. Okay.
The opposite of my boy, whatever that is.
But he's trying to make content out of it. You know, he's a content creator at this point. He doesn't play sports. He's doesn't have a job. So, you know, he's at a place where he needs to make this shit work. So he makes this video. Matter of fact, I think y'all should be able to hear this one. Let me see how I do this. Okay, y'all should be able to hear this one, I think, because it's on Twitter.
Guys, it's so obvious that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. If you don't know, let me inform you about what happened. Caitlin Clark committed a hard foul on Angel Reese as she was wide open for a free, easy layup. Routine play. Every one of you that's watching has, why do I think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark? It could be the fact that Aaliyah Boston had to save Angel Reese from ending her career.
Yeah, so anyway, point being, that's RG3's take. Which is fine. I expect that take out of RG3. I'm not surprised in any way. But then my man Ryan Clark came in. And Ryan Clark is so interesting to me because I think I like a lot of stuff he says. I like what he stands for. I think he puts his heart out there. And I think he tries to be honest and all that stuff. But he also is making content, and you know, it's so I don't put it past him. Like, we could be 3 months from, like, he did this with Andrew Schultz. He called out Andrew Schultz and his disrespect of black women and all this stuff, and then like a few months later, he had Andrew Schultz on his podcast, and they were kikiing, laughing by the end of it, and it was like, that feels like it undid a lot of the stuff he tried to do. But Ryan Clark put this video out from his podcast, The Pivot.
We moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate, because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom.
Now, I want to point out a couple things here. First of all, RG3 does have at least half black daughters. I don't know how he would categorize them. Of course, I would say they were black, but who knows what he thinks, you know? But the only time they come up is when he's using them as a shield from criticism. To be like when they called him out for his comments on Kamala Harris, he was like, well, y'all say I don't support black. Well, I have black daughters. I have a black sister. I'm like, so anyone DNA related to you? Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Like, that's
nigga, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that. You think I'm supposed to look at you like, I hate my sister because she black? Like, no one's saying that. No one thinks you're the cop from Don't Be a Menace.
Right.
Dummy.
They use their family members like it's supposed to protect them. No, you said some fuck shit.
But you know, I think also RG3 is the guy that said not to talk about Jackie Jackie Robinson being taken out of like these museums and political institutions, taken off of government websites. He said that was getting too political. And he said Mina Kimes should not have brought that up on TV. So that's the RG3, that he wants an absence of race talk. So no, I'm with Ryan on this. I don't think he's having those conversations even with his black daughters. I don't. He's not prepared to have those conversations.
No.
He's a man who's living in denial himself. So how the fuck he gonna be like, yeah, let me sit my daughter down and tell her about how difficult it is out here for a black woman. And obviously the mom don't know. You know what I mean? Like, how would she know? She don't have a lived experience and she doesn't really seem to want to have it or to want to learn it. So anyway.
When you look at it, I think Asia Wilson is the face of the league. Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin.
Now, for those that don't know, I think it's obvious if you listen to the show, but the milk references are all to his wife being white. He's like, oh, cookies and milk. And there's a picture of him and his wife. You know, I'm with this milk at this game. I'm drinking a lot of milk.
It's just weird.
Tall glass of milk. Just, she's a white lady, white. Picture me. I got a white wife. I'm very proud of having a white wife.
Love her, dog.
But the fact that she's white is all I've ever heard him talk about her.
Right.
I've never heard. I don't know anything else about her really.
I don't even know what the woman sounds like.
Right. That intro, I guess, to his podcast is the most I've heard where he said she was some type 12-time Olympian or something. I don't know what he said, but he don't lead with that on the social media. She white. And here's a picture of her butt. She's white, and here's if it ain't snowing, we ain't going. He's dressed as Santa Claus. There's a video where it says when you take melanin instead of melatonin, and his wife goes to bed and wakes and then the camera does a quick cut and it wakes up and it's RG3 in the bed instead of his wife. Corny race shit is not my cup of tea.
Not mine either. You know, for some people, that's their quote unquote content.
Yeah.
You're like, to me, I'm like, okay.
And it's not original content, by the way.
No.
I've seen people do that before, but you know, but that's the kind of attention. He just likes attention. And I think he's hit on something with this. Like, my wife is white, but it's not the kind of attention that helps in a situation like this where you're trying to prove like, I don't have a racial animus towards black women, or this is not a race thing about me protecting Caitlin Clark, blah, blah, blah. The track record would say different, bro.
As if the color of her skin is what makes her special. As if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady. I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot.
I also want to say this. That was extremely smart of Ryan Clark. Just setting up the chess move of this takedown. It was very, very smart that he did not insult that woman, that he did not fall for what RG3 does and start being like, she's just a white woman, that he did not talk about her politics or any of that stuff. He just was like, Buddy is the one obsessed with telling us she's white. I think she's more than just white. Whatever that means to you. She's a mother. You know what I mean? She whatever her job is, whatever thing she's accomplished, like, you the one making her a white lady, which could literally be any white lady. Right. So a lot of white ladies in the world, y'all. It's
right.
Not,
they don't agree with that bullshit.
It's not a needle in a haystack to find a white woman that'll have sex with you as a rich Black athlete. It's really not. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's kind of pretty much a layup. So
it's very insulting to them as a collective, as a group too.
Yeah. So the only reducer to that is a weird thing to do.
Right.
From Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racist, he'll be no less Black than me.
Hold up. That's the bar. Because I think ultimately that is what RG3 is seeking to do, which is to ingratiate himself to whiteness. And part of we've watched Jason Whitlock do it. Part of the way to do it is just shitting on Black people, taking white people's side of everything, jumping in that race war when you could have said nothing.
Right.
That ingratiates you to a Dave Portnoy. Like that, I wouldn't be shocked if RG3's podcast goes on that network. Barstool. I wouldn't be surprised if Shannon Sharp ends up over there.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's I don't even think it's I don't think it's controversial to say.
Nope.
But yeah, so you got the race war going on that side. RG3 comes back at him. Now, I won't lie. Not to be a dick, but I ain't reading all that. RG3
too long, didn't read.
RG3 shit was so goddamn long. Oh my god. Oh my god. RG3, we have things to do.
I'm not reading all that.
But more importantly, let's get to some of this evidence, right? Because like I said, well, no. I have to do the RG3 part. God damn it, son of a bitch. All right, here's the RG3 part, guys. I'm sorry to do this to y'all. But I just realized that me pulling up the evidence doesn't mean shit if y'all don't see what he was accused of and how he defended himself. And then I'll show y'all the evidence and be like, oh, this nigga's full of shit. So I'm going to show y'all. First of all, I'm going to show y'all this, and I'm not going to read it all just because, oh my God, nigga. Too long, didn't read. I'm
That's one of
happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened to you.
Okay.
Right. Look at this. There's also a 3-minute video. This is just what he typed.
You still going?
Yes.
Goddamn.
Yes.
So what, they allow you to write a book on Twitter?
And to summarize what he's saying, he's going to say, essentially, you insulted my white wife by bringing her into this. And you said I don't understand the struggles of black women because I'm married to a white woman. That's wrong and way out of bounds. He suggested I don't value my wife as a woman I love, protect, and raise a family with, but only value her because of color of skin. That's wrong and way out of bounds. He implied that he, a man who has never sat at our dinner table, values my wife and knows my marriage better than I do. That's wrong and way out of bounds. He didn't do that. He dismissed my blackness because I have a different opinion about Angel Reese than he does. That's wrong. Once again, it's cumulative. Yeah. He's trying to reduce it to like, all I said was Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and then he just went off for no reason.
Me, right.
My support is not based on the color of someone's skin, but the content of their character. My sports opinions are not based on the color of someone's skin, but
But you always the one bringing up your wife, not us.
Right. Let me be clear. It's wildly inappropriate and wrong and extremely low to weaponize and attack a person's wife, marriage, and their family because you disagree with a sports take. I didn't make it personal with Angel Reese. I didn't drag her family. I didn't question her soul. I spoke about basketball. But Ryan, you crossed the line. You made it personal and some. There should be no space in sports media for personal attacks on wives and children are way out of limits. I don't think he attacked their wife.
Say a thing disrespectful about your wife.
Yeah. You attack me and my family in a public forum. Disagree. So he turned it into like, this was you made it personal. Now I notice his wife isn't on the couch in this one in the background. So I guess something must have happened in this or whatever. Oh, someone put the meme. I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. Yes. Too long. But that's not what's important, guys. Let's go talk about this man being a milk magnate because he tried to imply that this thing was like out of nowhere.
One offer.
Just done to him. Like, why would you do this to me, Ryan Clark?
Long history.
I'm just a man that has a white wife, and you turn this and you weaponize that against me. And I don't deserve that. I should be treated with respect. Blah blah blah. And it's like, is that what happened, RG3? Is that what happened, or do you post shit like Santa said, if it ain't snowing, we ain't going? A picture you dressed as Santa Claus, looking at your white wife, titties. A race joke, right? Snowing, we ain't going, meaning she's white. So, there. Shout out to Great Uncle Bob who made this artwork. That'll probably be the Balls Deep artwork.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then there's other stuff too, like because people, I'm just showing y'all my mentions because people have been pulling this up the whole time. But there's a video he did where he does this one where when you accidentally take melanin instead of melatonin to fall asleep. It's his white wife participating in it. Wakes up as RG3. Because, melanin will make you black and he has a white wife. And it's funny because something about race there. Very insightful commentary that humanizes your wife who I've never heard speak a word in anything you posted. So,
child, I couldn't pick that lady out of the lineup.
Yeah, can't tell what's can't tell what's real and what's not with you and all this shit. He also has this one where he went to a Post Malone concert. Pull this back up for y'all.
That's to do with face tattoos.
It's the Post Malone with the country. Post Malone concert with this tall glass of milk and tagged his wife. Once again, he's the one reducing her to tall glass of milk. No one's calling her that. No one's trying to make.
Most people do not care.
Yeah. You're the one that's turning this into, you made her race the number one thing you think about. You telling us like, don't bring my wife into this, brother. That's your thing. Putting your wife into this.
That's on you, buddy.
It's totally fine. No one was thinking about calling you and your wife out when Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese. You wanted to be the center story.
Yeah, now you're the center of it.
Yeah. And then there's like countless tweets of him just saying like wild shit like, get me in this milk, cookies and milk, taking pictures with some milk, drinking some milk.
Oh no.
Yeah, like that. Like he can't beat the allegations. He can't.
Right.
Ah!
He was saying like it was a one-off, like the internet, and a lot of that stuff he was saying while he was an analyst too. So some of this shit has been rolling for years.
He said it like it was a non sequitur. Like, why did you bring her up? What does that have to do with anything?
You're consistently talking about her,
right? You,
yes, you. And there's nothing wrong with talking about your wife, but you bringing up your wife's race like it's her only identity,
right? So yeah, everybody went and found all the evidence of him, cooning it up on behalf of having a white wife or whatever. But it's just, and I know people are gonna be like, man, you can't do that. Family is off limits and all this shit. Whatever, man. Because if we've learned nothing else at this point, let's say you think Ryan Clark was out of line. Out of line is in line now. Professionalism has died. There was a time when certain shit was off limits. Nothing's off limits anymore. You got Shannon Sharp talking about fucking people on his nightcap show and then coming on TV and yelling at black women saying they fouling Caitlin Clark too hard and they need to protect her at all costs. Like,
right.
Pat McAfee is making nigger jokes. Like, we're way past whatever the fuck professionalism is. I saw Pat McAfee was interviewing Quentin Richardson today and he did Paul's like no homo type jokes. They're
bringing that bullshit back.
Yeah, like I don't think he said no homo, but he did the like pause or whatever.
But yeah, because I think it's stupid.
Yeah, but it's just professionalism isn't. There's not an off limits. So it doesn't, like, this idea of like we just keeping it all on the. No, we're not. So yeah, I think that's just very very interesting. The trajectory that's headed on, and I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon because Ryan Clark is not ashamed or embarrassed or taking anything back. He quote tweeted that long thing that Robert Griffin wrote,
that book,
and put his own thing. Bro, you know what it is with me and you. I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urge people to let you be you. No matter how corny, how bad a teammate you were, I had your back. What did you do? Invite someone on your show I don't fool with to ask questions about me and then hit me weeks later to tell me you're going to challenge one of my takes. You're a phony, bro. One of the worst teammates I ever had, both on the field and in TV. You got to do what you got to do. I didn't attack your wife. I spoke of what you do on social media and TV. Like I said, I met your wife and she seemed like a lovely lady that was worth more than the color of her skin. You be good, bro.
Right. Go on about your life.
You know who the worst people are in this? The people that be like, guys, please stop fighting.
Just be quiet.
Can y'all settle this? No.
Right.
I mean, we can settle it if he want to come to the table with some realness.
Right. And it's also one of them things where some people are so conflict avoidance that they don't even like conflict with other people. Bitch, some people just ain't gonna like each other, and you just gotta learn how to live with that.
And it's bad too, because anytime RG3 fuck up this bad, he started talking about God. He tweeted out, "Don't quit. God is working on something for you that will have your cup overflowing with blessing. And trust God and give God all the glory," which is basically just going to the Apollo and singing fucking "This Little Light of Mine." Because everybody's booing your ass right now.
Yep, they were booing him a few weeks ago about some other bullshit he said. He did the same thing.
Yeah, and look, I don't even think that this should go without saying, but nobody gives a fuck if you got a white wife. That's not the problem.
Nobody cares.
Plenty of these motherfuckers got white wives. That's not the fucking problem for me. I don't know what other people might say to these people. I have never once been like, white wife, fuck that person. White husband, fuck that person.
Nope.
That is not how I move at all. And I would guess,
ridiculous.
I would venture to guess the vast majority of black people move that way. Because number one, we don't got the goddamn time.
No, I got other shit to be worried about.
But two, that's a very low bar. If you find love, you found love. I don't really give a fuck. I know people that do obsess over that, but honestly, for the most part, I feel like a lot of them don't 100% understand the difference between like macro and micro when it comes to love. I'm not saying that there aren't biases that come into hand and all that shit. I'm not saying this everyone is acquitted. I'm saying I can't only look at the picture of the book, the cover of the book, and go, I know what's in that book. I actually don't know. But the motherfuckers that do volunteer
Yeah, you ain't got to, and that's the thing. The thing is, you don't have to tell us any of this. You're offering this information up to people, and they're going, "Why are y'all responding?" Well, you are putting information out there.
There's certain motherfuckers that volunteer. You know, there's certain people whose wives are so like flagrant with shit that you're like, oh, okay, I know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brittany Mahomes and her MAGA shit. I know what Patrick Mahomes is about. I know what he's not standing up for in his house. Whether he got half black kids, full black kid, whatever you want to call them. I know what you allow the woman who teaches your kids, who breastfeeds your kids. I know what you allow in your house because those are your beliefs.
Right.
Whether you disagree or agree, you think it's okay that she supports a racist president. Okay. The dude from Buffalo Bills that got the IG model white wife, that's a huge Trump supporter. We know what he's on. Because how could she be that outspoken and you'd be like, no, personally, I'm very, very pro. I'm very Black Lives Matter. I let her make jokes about Black Lives Matter, but I'm very Black Lives Matter in the house. No, you said you are where you at.
Yep.
But RG3 been putting this out this for a minute. He want us to know. And now that someone called him out on it, he the victim. Now it's gone too far. Now it's personal. You know, I get to coon in private. That's, you know, I can publicly coon, but y'all got to privately address it.
No, baby. You tap dance on Front Street. People have a right to comment about you tap dancing down the street.
His wife has now said something. RG3's wife. She's an Estonian heptathlete, Greta Griffin. She replied to Clark on social media. She posted a video on TikTok of RG3 pretending to hold her back as she attempts to attack someone. And the caption says, when someone has something to say to my non-confrontational husband. It was posted on the TikTok account for the family at the Griffin family, entitled Say It With Your Chest, alongside a laughing emoji.
You ain't done nothing. I don't understand this.
Content.
Yeah, that's all it is. Cause child, what is you doing?
Yeah, just content. It's and that's the other thing too. Like, I also find the brand of like racial clout chasing that RG3 does to be very cowardly too. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like he's saying this shit and it's like he's saying it with his chest. It's just constantly poking at black people. Constantly.
Right. If you want to say it with your chest, you say it with your chest, loud and clear.
Yeah. And
don't be using no cold words, but you're not though.
Yeah, but you know, I get it. You're a milkman, and now you don't want to stand up. You don't want to be strong. Mm-hmm. Now you want to be a coward. Maybe you need some milk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cutting up, and now you want to cry over spilt milk. Get out of here, sir.
Yeah. That's good, Karen.
I couldn't help myself. I thought you was gonna get to it first.
No, that's amazing. Maybe that's the title of the show. But yeah, so that's all the banter, guys. I really just wanted to talk about that. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Let me just see.
You're right. I am funny.
Yep. I guess we can do some regular ass news. Let me pull up the music and we'll come right Ariel by Infrared Crypto. R&B singer Chris Brown denied bail over alleged London nightclub assault.
Damn.
British police charged a second American musician on Saturday in connection with an alleged assault in London in 2023, a day after singer Chris Brown was charged over the same incident. Omololu Akinlolu, 38, A rapper and producer who performs under the stage name Hoodie Baby was charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm with intent to retaliation to the assault alleged to have taken place in London on February 19, 2023. He's due to appear in court in Manchester late on Saturday. Brown, 36, one of the best-selling R&B artists of all time, was denied bail by an English court over the charge, throwing his upcoming world tour into doubt. Well, Justin Timberlake understands. You know what makes me think about here? People that defend Chris Brown always try to go back to he was 17 or whatever when he attacked Rihanna.
He's done a lot of shit since
It's
then.
been a long time.
Like almost 40.
Are we saying this now when he's 35 or whatever? Like
Right.
he was only a 34-year-old kid when he got these charges. Like he continued, he get arrested a lot.
Yeah, he does.
He was denied bail by an English court over a serious assault charge on Friday, throwing his upcoming world tour into doubt. He's been charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm in what prosecutors say was an unprovoked attack at a London nightclub in 2023. He was arrested at a hotel in Manchester, Northern England, this week after return to Britain. So he went there. He must have thought the coast was clear, and the British police is like, actually no.
It's not clear.
3 hots in a cot for you, buddy. Beans and toast, mate, in the morning.
Right.
I wonder what their jail food is like. Let's see. Flo Milli snaps back at the fat shamers come for her stage time. Flo Milli said what she said. After fans found out she had her first baby, the rapper hit the stage in Memphis, and the internet had something to say. Flo Milli's nigga don't got a job. What is she already doing performing? Where's her family and friends? She said, ho, go choke on a dick and die before you speak on me, my child's father, or my family. Now, why RG3 couldn't just say that?
Cutthroat, like, you got something to say, okay.
She also let folks know that her baby wasn't born on the same day that she posted about it. Is y'all really thinking I had my baby 9 days ago? Meaning, just because I posted the picture on IG 9 days ago, I been had that baby. And to shut it all the way down, she made it clear she's allowed to feel good and do what she loves. God forbid a girl just want to feel like herself again and perform. So shout out to Flo Milli.
Yeah, that's definitely saying with your chest. And people say stuff crazy on the internet, and some people clap back. I know Rihanna done calmed it down, but man, back in the day, Rihanna used to have some clapbacks when people used to come out. I think they reposted one about Kris Jenner talking about she need to perform a song or she wasn't coming to the concert, and Rihanna said, "Don't come then, bitch." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right. Damn, I missed a great joke for Chris Brown.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna go back a second ago. You know, hold on, wait. I gotta formulate the joke right. You know, normally when Chris Brown has hits abroad, I'm thinking about a different type of headline. All right, there you go.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Soulja Boy threatens DDG over alleged abuse of Holly Bailey, but that's not all.
Who the hell is DDG?
DDG is Holly Bailey's baby daddy.
Okay.
And he has been accused by her of like abuse. Like,
oh no.
Serious physical abuse and threat to like their pregnant child, like their child and all this stuff. Like it's real bad.
Because they split a while ago.
Yeah, they split. This is one of those relationships where like I said, I don't really I stay out of the parasocial shit with the social media and especially these young people's relationships.
Yep.
They gonna make the same fucking mistakes all the older people made. It's sad.
Just in public.
No amount of parasocial whatever, like you leaving comments is gonna change anything. You're not actually their friends.
Right.
The only people that can truly help them are people that are in their lives that know more than we know.
Right.
Who can step in
personal relationships
and advise them or help them. My life is not on the line if she tries to leave DDG and then he fucking threatens her. It means nothing for me because I can't help her.
Right.
I'm just a person in her comment section. Many times adding more stress and negativity to it than helping. But anyway, so this is one of those relationships I've stayed all the way out of. I just like whatever. I don't know shit about either one of them. Good luck.
Yep. Good luck to you all.
So she filed a restraining order against him. And now Soulja Boy is coming to her defense. In a tweet that he since deleted, he put, "You a bitch ass nigga for putting your hands on Haley, little nigga, at Pontiac made DDG. If I catch you, I'm beating the fuck out of you." But he appears to have ulterior motives. In an Instagram video, he talked about wanting to have sex with Bailey. "Come fuck a real nigga. We gonna stick dick in the mermaid," a reference to her role in the film The Little Mermaid. He also continued to threaten DDG and insists he'd eventually catch up with him. Bailey, who was filed a very serious restraining order against DDG. So I don't know what Soulja Boy.
Right, what is you are not helping the situation, sir.
Right. Hey, let me taunt your abuser, your alleged abuser. And talk about fucking you.
That'll calm the situation
I don't
down.
really care about you as a human being, but let me fuck on you.
Right.
Bailey filed a police report and asked court order protection from DDG earlier this week. According to legal documents obtained by TMZ, Bailey claims the situation turned physical in January, several months after the couple October 2024 breakup. She states that during an exchange involving their son, their son Halo, she attempted to address visitation arrangements with him as she was buckling Halo into his car seat. Bailey alleges DDG became agitated, repeatedly telling her to get out of my car, bitch. Concerned for her crying son, she tried to calm the situation, but a struggle ensued. She said DDG pulled her hair, slammed her face into the steering wheel, and chipped her too. And there's pictures and everything. He's hit with a restraining order midstream with Aiden Ross, who's also a manosphere person. He was left speechless for a moment as he tried to gather his thoughts. He eventually muttered, "This can't be real. I don't know where that even came from," which is, to me, super scary, like narcissistic abuser red flag type shit. And like, unless you're saying she completely made it up, chipped her own tooth, sent these pictures to the police and all this shit, then how are you surprised a restraining order happened off of that?
Nigga, it's hard to chip a tooth.
Yeah. The temporary court order granted by a Los Angeles judge bars him from coming within 100 yards of his Bailey or Halo. It also prohibits him from publicly speaking about either of them, including social media or live stream. Now, what I find interesting is Soulja Boy himself was found liable in a civil lawsuit for raping his personal assistant.
Oh!
And he was at the trial. This wasn't one of those ones where you don't show up, so they just rule against you because you didn't participate. He was in there wearing glasses and a button-up shirt and everything, trying to act like, a good person. He must pay $4 million in compensatory damages to the plaintiff, as well as an additional $250,000 in punitive damages.
Woo.
He maintains his innocence, but he ain't a hero either.
Right.
It reminds me of 50 Cent going at Diddy. And it's like, people will prop up 50 Cent because they like, oh, we hate Diddy, and and now's a good time to shit on Diddy. I'm like, but look at 50 Cent is not in this because he's a hero or give a fuck about them victims.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
If anything, he wants to make fun of maybe Diddy had sex with men as well. So it's really just homophobia masquerading as some sort of like moral stance, but it's not a moral stance. Mm-hmm. He just thinks it's funny that this man had sex with men. That's it. Keegan, speaking of hip hop, government is seeking $64 million from Fuji's Pras after conviction.
Ain't that the one that got for that tax stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not tax stuff. It was even worse than tax stuff. It was like some fucking conspiracy to arrange financial crimes and spying
with
shit.
A foreign government or some shit.
Yeah. So they want to seize over $64 million from him. Do he got that?
I don't think he do.
They say the money represents money that he funneled into his accounts through a tangle of covert dealings, including work as an unregistered foreign agent and deceptive financial activities that prosecutors say compromise U.S. systems of law and finance. At the heart of his case is his relationship with Jolo, the fugitive Malaysian financier tied to the infamous 1MDB embezzlement scandal. Through his partnership, the rapper allegedly channeled roughly $104 million from Lowe to influence U.S. government officials. His work repeatedly included reportedly included lobbying for the dismissal of a Justice Department investigation into Lowe's alleged crimes and attempts to push for the extradition of Chinese dissident at the behest of Beijing.
Woo, yeah, child, yeah. You might as well go ahead and sleep in your car. You ain't never getting a paycheck again.
Yeah, buddy, you gonna move out of that mansion and be back to being a ghetto superstar. Ready or not, it don't matter.
That's a lot of money.
They're gonna be killing him softly.
Yes, they are.
With their song. It's gonna kill his dating life.
It is.
Yeah, no woman, no cry. That's what you're gonna have to say.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna have no power. You got to walk down to Electric Avenue.
That was wrong.
Didn't he make that song didn't he do the Electric Avenue song that was terrible? We gonna walk down to Electric Avenue.
I remember that damn song.
Take it high. I was like, you didn't even add anything to this song. You just playing a hit we already know. This is like when Puff Daddy did that, you know, that song after Big died. I was like, this is just the other song. You barely rapped about anything. Anyway, but yeah, so Pras is he owed him some money.
They gonna get every dime.
Don't ask Lauryn Hill for it. She already had problems with the IRS, and plus you was shitting on her. So good luck, Pras.
And she might be late, but she gonna still be on tour. What you doing?
Let's see. Nah, that's kind of serious. All right, let's what time we got? 1:21. Let's do some. What do I feel like doing? Let's do a gender war. All right, let's do some gender wars, everybody. I know y'all like that kind of stuff. We already did race wars. Might as well do gender wars.
We're going to war. Gender war. There's a war going on outside. Gender war. There's a war going on outside. Gender war.
All right, gender wars time. You guys know what it is. We go around the globe, find some gender wars content, and we rate it from 0 to 10 for how good it is, not what we agree with, or is the man right, is the woman right. We don't play those kind of games over here at the Blackout Tips. That's games for suckers. Okay, you got taken in if you sit around and be like, who's right or wrong? Thoughts? No, we are here to say, is this a good piece of content that makes people want to argue and comment and participate in it? Okay, so here is today's contestant. Let me pull up the screen from Instagram. Okay, date gets flown out and dropped off as soon as plane lands. Was he wrong? Okay, starting right here. I like the caption. Okay, was he wrong? If you look at who it's from, Karen, do you see who posted it? Can you tell? Snoop Dogg.
Okay, because I was like, that looked like, but no.
Now, why is Snoop Dogg posting it? I'll never know.
You never know.
And he just put, was he wrong? First comment underneath it. Now, maybe it's because of my follows, but it's Kendra Lust, who's a porn star. So clearly this is resonating with the people. She just posted 2 laughing emojis though. But here we go.
This is how you get flown out, ladies. First class flight. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Good to see you. You look good. Y'all, he's a lot shorter than what I remember on FaceTime, but it's okay. Got me out the city.
Now, I would imagine that the conceit of this content is she got flown out, but then she supposedly hopped on like Instagram Live or something. Because like, who is she talking to?
I don't know.
She's holding her phone up, clearly recording this. She's supposedly talking. So either she's videotaping it to post later,
or she's talking to somebody,
or she's talking. But then she said y'all, like she's talking to listeners and followers.
I see what you're saying. Not to an individual person.
Yeah, and then saying like he's shorter than I thought. You know, so I don't know who the audience really is here. I think she should have established that maybe with the like, hey, what's going on, Instagram Live or something like that. I don't know, but okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
So he put our bags in the box.
glad you made it safe.
Thank you so much. Whew. How are you?
I'm good.
I am super excited.
Exactly. I'm glad you made it safe. Everything is good.
Yes.
Awesome. So, ready to go to the stop by that go to the house and get you settled in and stuff.
I'm ready. I am super excited.
It ain't going nowhere.
Nah, he's trying to get out of the airport
okay.
traffic, but I gotta say, like, it's losing steam. It could have used a little bit of editing here.
Right, this is too long.
But also like it's the way she's doing the camera is weird, because like, imagine this is real life, not a skit. I come to pick you up from the airport, I flew you out, and your phone is video recording me the whole time. That wouldn't put anybody off. Like, you'd be like,
People
"What?
asking
Whoa,
why.
what's going on? What are you?" He should have addressed it. I'm not saying you take it down, because obviously you need to record this to make the content.
But just acknowledge.
But he should have acknowledged, like, so who you talking to, or what? You know, what are we recording that for? But he just doesn't.
So, I was thinking that, you know, maybe we can stop by South Park.
Stop by South Park for what?
I seen some red bottoms that I liked, so.
Some red bottoms.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we could probably stop by the mall first and.
No, that's not.
Is this Charlotte Douglas, nigga?
Must be.
Oh shit, it do look like Charlotte Douglas.
It said South Park Mall. I was like, yeah,
Right.
you is gonna find some expensive ass red bottoms.
I
in that
do
bitch.
recognize that little
That
strip.
cut.
Yeah.
Stop by the mall, fool. Like, you ready to go? You want to go shopping?
Yeah.
That's not like what the plan was for you coming down. Like, you flying down here to see me.
What do you mean that's not the plans? I mean, you said this was all inclusive, flights.
Yeah, like the bring you down to meet, not for whoa. No. That's not what this was about. This for you to come down here to meet me. We've been talking for a while online, so you know, I said I'd fly you out, you know what I'm saying, to come down, but it wasn't supposed to be no swipes and all that type stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm so confused.
I'm confused too.
And also, I forgot to tell you, by the way, that my homegirl is coming into town, so I thought she could also hang out with us for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not a good skit.
No, boo.
This is some bad acting.
Boo. Tomato.
They just need to rewrite it. I like the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do think
editing.
It's a good arguing scenario. They just need to just tighten it up a little bit. The dialogue needs to be a little less forced and more like
natural.
Yeah, well, just like, and so instead of saying, "Oh, and I I also got a friend," like, you want to start with like, some sort of like, that's fine. I told a friend we were gonna meet them at so and so or something. Like, just like, so you start with the conflict already there, as opposed to like, I'm introducing you at the ground level of you didn't know any shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think you just want to make it flow more natural, as opposed to, here's another scenario. You might as well be like, and what would you do if my friend was in your kitchen at 2 a.m. in lingerie bending over the refrigerator? Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and because this ain't making any sense. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you back off. So I'm.
What are you doing?
I'm about to let you back out because you talking about you already starting to trip off wrong swipes and meeting your homegirl.
Let me out for what? Are you serious? Is he serious right now? Are you serious?
Yeah, you can get out. Let me help you unbuckle this real quick.
Okay, the real question, do you think she actually flew down, or did you think for this skit they went and got some luggage, he pulled up, pretended to drop off, then rode around and did the skit. That's good. They were committed to that part. That part by itself, I think, is what drives the believability, even with the terrible acting. People can be like, but who would not be flown down to pretend to be flown down to make this content?
Yeah, and the whole part is none of this is real.
Yeah.
Like it's like, if you wanted me, and I know some people are gonna be suckered into this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But if you really wanted people to actually really start grinding and giving comments and things like that, it needs to be quicker. Like, not just when I mean quicker, better editing. It needs to be, your speech needs to be faster. And I'm not even talking about like Southern draw, like boom, 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 boom.
I figured it out, Karen. This is why they fucked up. You know what? They shouldn't have started recording until she was in the car.
That would have been much better.
She should have started to record it with, y'all are not gonna believe what this nigga is doing. He telling me to get out of his car. He just literally picked me up from the airport. He's telling me, I told him
that's 5 minutes less of filming.
I want to go to the mall, and then he gets to contribute with like, tell him about your friend. You want to go out and meet your friend. I flew you down. It's supposed to be like that.
There's no confrontation.
Because that feels more real. Because why would you start recording as he picked you up? You'd start recording when the conflict starts, to be like, let me document this conflict, and then pan over. The reveal is you're at the airport pickup area and he's telling you get out the car. That's a video. That's what it is.
Come on, because these people at the airport, they be like on it. Come on.
This is how you get flown.
Yeah, should have started there. Anyway, 0 to 10, Karen. What'd you give it?
This get a 0, and the biggest reason why I give it 0, because even in the comment section, it was like fake acting, blah blah blah. It's like you're not if the whole point is to do the gender wars, people are so thrown off by the other shit, and you're not having editing and all that stuff that the war didn't happen. I don't know if that makes sense.
And she needed to do. Someone brought this up, Miss Smart. She needed to show us her.
Yes.
Just like, because that's what that girl did that was good at the Cheesecake Factory video that will live forever. Because she's like, who wouldn't want to be hanging out with me? Do I look like Cheesecake Factory? And yes, she put herself on the Summer Jam screen. Yes, people were insulting her, but that's how your content blows up.
That is.
This can't blow up because everyone just like, it's fake. We don't have anything to go off of.
Don't nobody know what you look like.
The commenters didn't believe her.
Nope. And that's why I gave it a 0.
This is a skit button, someone put, and they got over 18,000 likes. Meaning, like basically hit heart here if you think this is fake. First of all, this is terrible acting. 13,000 likes. Skit or not, this is happening to someone at least every month. Shaking my head. Shout out to Ohm and Ox. Sis, you just want to believe.
You the one person.
It's the X-Files for her. She want to believe. She's like, I did not invest in this emotional energy to not be mad about something that really happened. Well, can we admit it does happen to people sometimes?
And I'm telling you right now, child, shout out Douglas Airport is one of the busiest airports in this fucking country, child. Ain't nobody got time.
Ain't got time for no
Ain't
skits.
nobody got time for that. The people gonna look at you like, sir, can you move?
That's why they ended the video there, because they definitely got back in that car and kept moving before security was like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Right, that the people that stand out there directing traffic going, sir, you're in the carpool lane. Please continue to move.
Camera in his face on the first meeting. Either this isn't real or we need to ban her from dating.
That's hilarious.
He's wrong for deciding to fly her out in the first place. Guys who make decisions like that are the reason why women like this are still around. Shout out to you for being a gullible ass dummy.
That's 2 of them.
Ain't enough traffic for him to be checking his side mirror that much. It's a skit. You was checking that side mirror a lot.
Knowing that you ain't gonna go nowhere, you went 3 feet. Did the car even move?
Yeah, she didn't give 5 minutes in asking, begging for stuff and wonder why y'all are single your whole life. That's all caps from Mr. Cowboy 77, who I guarantee you is not a feminist.
I would say no.
He's a man that if you go to his page is definitely defending Diddy. Okay, I'm just saying.
Chris Brown.
Oh my God. All right. So 0 to 10, did you grade it?
0.
Yeah, I give it a 2. The commitment to actually go to the airport.
Burn that gas.
Listen, okay? You didn't think of...
You know they burned a half a
I
tank
feel
of
like
gas.
with a better writer, y'all have something here. You just needed to sit down and really think out the structure of the scene. But you have something. It's not all nothing. So 2 for effort. 2 for effort. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up with some sword ratchetness. And we can get out of here.
And I think if the acting would have been better, it'd have been more intense, or it'd have felt more like a confrontation, I may have scored a little
acting
higher.
means nothing to me in this scenario because the writing is so bad. You could have Denzel and Viola in there, and I'd be like, "This is fake." You got
that's
this.
True.
It's designed to be perfect.
Oh yes.
It needs to start halfway through the fucking ride, and right as he's taking you out the car, y'all ain't gonna believe this. That should be the first words out her mouth. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. This fool is kicking me out of this car. He flew me down here all because I said I wanted to go shopping. That's fucked up. Blah. He said it was all inclusive. I didn't say the shopping. I said the ticket and the plane ticket. And then he said, my friend can't come hang out with us. Like, that's how it should have started.
Agreed.
So, boo!
Boo! Tomato, tomato, tomato.
Sword Ratchetness time. Jharkhand man beheads woman with sword, attacks her husband at the fight over garbage.
Damn, why she take a L?
Because she couldn't take out the trash. A gruesome incident.
I guess she didn't cut it then, did she?
Nope, I guess not. A gruesome incident rocked Jharkhand's Dumka district on Wednesday evening when a youth beheaded a woman and critically injured her husband with a sword after a petty dispute. The accused, identified as Fulchan Sa, confessed to the crime and surrendered to the police. The event unfolded around 7 p.m. in Kevatpara near Kabristan Road, where a long-standing feud between neighbors Vilma Devi and Ragni Jha escalated. According to the police reports, the two frequently clashed over throwing water and garbage over a newly built PCC road. On Wednesday, an argument broke out, drawing Vimla's husband, Manoj Singh, a teacher, into the fray as he attempted to mediate. The situation turned deadly when Fulchan Sa, accompanied by his father, Lachan Sa, and 2 brothers arrived at the scene. 4 dudes? Oh, they really came.
They were bad about it.
They came for the smoke. In a fit of rage, Fulchan allegedly drew a sword and attacked Vimla Devi, severing her head with a single blow. Shit!
Woo! Child.
Did he some say anime shit?
Did he say bunkai? The fuck is this?
Who the fuck chop head off with one blow?
How strong are you?
God damn. He then turned.
You spent the past 15 years sitting below the water and shit? Like, I don't understand this.
He then turned on Manoj Singh, inflicting severe injuries. Manoj, who raised his arm and shield in defense, suffered deep cuts and significant blood loss. He was rushed to the hospital, where his condition remains critical. Fulchan fled the scene, but later surrendered at Dumka's Nagar Thana, where he was taken into custody. Police recovered the sword used in the attack and sent Vimla Devi's body for a postmortem. I think that's going to be an easy mortician job.
Yeah.
He might get an extra long lunch break today, is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Cause of death, loss of head.
Right? I mean, it's that simple. I mean, wouldn't nobody seen that flash step coming?
Mm-hmm. I think we knew where this was headed. The investigation.
Did he think she was a demon or something out here?
Right. The investigation is ongoing, with authorities probing the circumstances that led to the brutal act. Manoj Singh, speaking from the hospital, recounted the frequent disputes between his wife and Ragni Jha, noting that Fulchan and his family often supported Jha. Vimla Devi's daughter, who witnessed the incident, said she hid inside the house to escape harm. She added that she never imagined such a minor dispute could lead to such a horrific incident. Nobody does. That's why swords are so dangerous. The incident sparked fear in the community, prompted police to deploy additional security to maintain order and appeal to the public to maintain peace. I appreciate that they're taking this so serious, because most people be like, it's a sword, it's a one-off, who else gonna be this crazy? But nah.
There's like, we don't want no copycats. We can't have no more heads literally rolling in the streets. No, thank you, y'all.
Right. You gotta keep your head on the swivel.
Yes, you do.
Additionally, the Dumka SDPO, I guess maybe that's their chief of police, E. Dung Dung, assured the public that the case is under thorough investigation, adding the police is committed to ensuring justice and urge residents to remain calm.
How fucking strong are you,
right,
to decapitate somebody in one blow?
Yeah, that's why whenever you start having one of these like petty small arguments, I always tell people, don't lose your head. All right, y'all, we'll be back. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.